That's error. That's not God. And anyone who follows you is under a covering that is faulty.
I will never plan evil against somebody. Neither will I deprive you from what you are entitled to.
Problem was I find it hard to let go. Things will pain me. I will hold it.
Insult anybody on my behalf. Is that what I said?
Sir.
AZEMHE said to me, because of my health, I don't want to do pastoring anymore for now. And I blessed him. That's all I know.
There is nothing you will say about me that I will respond to. It's in my nature.
If people walk out of a place, let it be because God revealed to them to move, not because they are unhappy.
When I hear people say, Pastor AZEMHE won't break out, I say, where will they go? We die here, we go nowhere.
You know, sometimes you think you are very forgiving until somebody does something to you that you'll be wondering why you can't let go.
The official inauguration will come up when my spiritual father, the Apostle SULEMAN, will be available.
I reach, my father in the Lord, Apostle Professor Dr. SULEMAN, will come and dedicate the church. Whoa! Hey, God.
You may not fight that young lady at work, but you have dogs that fight on your behalf. Let somebody say, rich man, control your dogs.
Control your dogs.
You are walking in error. You cut out of the place. You start a church in that same area. Rest, it will happen to you too.
There is nothing you will say about me that I will respond to.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News Gist and Blog. Let's talk about Pastor Aenab and his spiritual father, Apostle SULEMAN. This saga between spiritual father and spiritual son have been going on for a while, and I decided to jump on it at this moment because it's getting more interesting. Many of you remember Pastor Aenab. Pastor Aenab, who is heading one of the branches of Omega Fire Ministry, one of the biggest branch anyway. You know, there was a rumor in 2022 when they were saying, oh, this pastor is going to break out, he's planning to break out. The rumor spread to the headquarters. SULEMAN tried to dispute it and said, oh no, there's something like that. To make the whole public believe, he invited Pastor Aenab and said, are you really trying to leave my church? Pastor Aenab have the microphone and decided to address the church and said, me, leave. Ah, God forbid, I will never leave my spiritual father. I love you. I want you guys to watch it.
The grace upon our Father in the Lord. I've been to 66 nations. And nobody has stepped out before. Why? I remember the statement she made. He said, the person who gives you this power, take conquer me, hold her tight. When I hear people say, Pastor AZEMHE won't break out, I say, where will they go? We die here, we go nowhere. It's not ministry that brought me. If it's ministry that brought me, you know the problem some of us have, you don't know what brought you. It's not ministry. I told my wife, if I tell you I'm leaving Omega, just know that our marriage is over. Because I will beat you. Because the reason why I'm not beating you now it's not because the muscles are not there. It's because there's somebody you will tell. Am I talking to somebody here? And what am I looking for that he has not given me? I told my senior Reverend Fidelis, I said, there's no pastor who will leave Omega that will be better than me. There is no pastor. I'm saying it on air. No pastor. Because the privilege I've got here is more than overseer own. No pastor. No pastor.
This is him, like Peter. Peter in the Bible promised that our God, I will never deny Jesus. Why will I deny Jesus? Before they break, don't deny Jesus reach 3 times. Pastor Aenab, after all of these promises in 2022, fast forward to 2025, he did unspeakable something. At least he tried. He waited extra 2 years plus before he break out from Omega Fire Ministry. When he break out from Omega Fire Ministry, he decided to play the saint. And I want you guys to watch what he did next. We'll be right back.
The official inauguration will come up when my spiritual father, the Apostle SULEMAN, will be available to perform the event. I did a little pause here to emphasize on this place. Be who I am even before today. There is nothing you will say about me that I will respond to. It's in my nature. If you like, believe what they told you, but time is the best judge on earth. So those of us who believe He did not remove my button. You did not believe. He did not put more button. Be who I am from the beginning. Even though you call me armed robber, I will never respond to you. Not even on this matter. So those of us who are waiting that one day Pastor AZEMHE will tell, that means you don't know me. If you like, call me Juju, I will say yes. So long I am jujuing bettering than you.
Now, if you watch this particular video, you will find nothing wrong in this video. You just, he said the opening of this church is going to be ordained by Apostle Joseph Suleman, my spiritual father. This guy is a cunning man. When I mean a real cunning man. But just stay to the end of this video so that you understand the fact, the basketballs that is going on. When he make this particular video, to the eyes of the people, it felt like, oh, it's so nice. But the inner caucus of Apostle Joseph Suleman loyal, this guy is just trying to be sent. But meanwhile, they know that he's not a saint. Apostle Cassie, a lot of you know him. One of those guys you cannot describe as a pastor or apostle. So I want you guys to listen to what he said.
Reach my father in the Lord, Apostle Professor Dr. Joseph Suleman, will come and dedicate the church. Whoa! Hey, God. When they do all this way they do so, if they make the members when thief and some way can't join her, they feel say, now listen now, Suleman is with us. He remember my father. Forget what they talk. Forget their Cassie. What did they talk? All those one, they don't know anything. Now we dey inside. Now me, now my father. I even go see her 2 days ago. He blessed me. Tell me, man, go ahead. He dey lie all this lie. You know, say if I dey talk now, say, oh Cassio, you have started, oh, allow him, oh, to rest, oh, go. Now, after he lie this lie finish, as a real man of God, where he say he be, as he lie this lie finish, he come post am online. As he say the matter one casts, now he quickly delete the video. Why you delete am? If not true, you dey tell people say Suleman want come open your shop.
Apostle Cassie is not somebody who should hold on to his words, though, because that one is neither here or there. Today is supporting APC, tomorrow is supporting PDP. Now, if you go to his platform, all he does is to be swearing for opposition. An apostle can swear juju, can do comedy, can do all things. There was a certain video of him when he was smushing babe in the club, you know, drinking a Nikki. Maybe we'll talk about it again, but this particular video is not about Apostle Cassie, but I'm just trying to say he's not a man of integrity. If you go to his platform, there's nothing ministry about him. He's either politics, swearing for opposition. That's what he does. But in this particular video, he's trying to defend his own spiritual father, Apostle Joseph Suleman. Now, let's go back to the whole topic. When Apostle Cassie made this particular video, it did not sit well with Pastor Aenab, in as much that he broke out of Suleman church, but you dare not talk to me like that. He did not reply Cassie directly. Indirectly, he replied Apostle Joseph Suleman and said, "Shame your dog. Stop sending your dog after me." I didn't know if he was saying dog or dog, but neither way, but I want you guys to watch what he said.
You may not fight that young lady at work, but you have dogs that fight on your behalf. Let somebody say, rich man, control your dogs.
Control your dogs.
Who are the dogs? Somebody shout machineries.
Machineries.
Who are the dogs? Somebody shout machineries.
Machineries.
There are people that will not fight you directly.
Yes, sir.
But they will use their machineries to fight you.
Yes, sir.
Is it true?
Yes, sir.
There are people that will not confront you, but they will use their gang to confront you.
Yes, sir.
Politicians have dogs that they used to fight as dogs.
Yes, sir.
Is it true?
Yes, sir.
Now, pastors have also got dogs that fight on their behalf.
Yes, sir.
They back whoa on social media. Whoa. Control your dogs, rich man.
I hear you, sir.
Control your machineries. Control your dog. Control your pit bull. Control your German Shepherd. Hey! Control your Rottweiler. Control your Kokesha.
Yes, sir.
America Beats.
Yes, sir.
Control them. Bigos Abaki.
At this point in time, the rumor have spread all over the places. Apostle Johnson Suleman decided to break the silence, and he came out to say that he's not aware that Pastor Azenam broke out of the ministry. Pastor Azenam only come to him that for Earth's sake, I'm going for a leave. And he blessed him as his own spiritual father. But he didn't know that this man just conny. But I want you guys to listen to what Apostle Joseph Suleman said in none of this. We'll be right back.
The only thing I know is that I was met on January 1st, and AZEMHE said to me, for the sake of because of my health, I don't want to do pastoring anymore for now. And I blessed him. That's all I know. Did I bless him? Yes. Did he say for his health? Yes. And if somebody comes to you and say, because of my health, will you keep him? So any other thing I'm hearing, build church or don't build church, that's nonsense. That's childish. What I know is what I just said to you. But my duty now is to advise you. You see, when you are a pastor, courage, listen. Let me tell you, I have succeeded. There are elderly people in our church that from day one, they are still there. Don't use force on people. Pastor them, let them be happy. A pastor must not always win. It's not what you say that must stand. Church is a family. It's not autocratic. If people walk out of a place, let it be because God revealed to them to move, not because they are unhappy. Do you understand me? Sometimes you may want to do something and your leaders tell you it's not going to work. Listen to them. So that way you begin to do well. And I want to plead with all of us in Benin 1 especially. Everyone that has left is your assignment to bring them back. Did you hear what I said? You should do what? Bring them back.
Pastor Azenam replied Apostle Johnson Suleman. You know, he don't just reply directly. He reply indirectly. And you always want to play the victim like I'm a nice person. Oh, they are attacking me. They are attacking my personality. All of us will leave this world one day. But anyway, I just want you guys to listen to what he indirectly replied to Apostle Johnson Suleman. We'll be back.
There are two things that guide my conscience. You have heard me that I said, I will never plan evil against somebody. Neither will I deprive you from what you are entitled to, even though we have issues. No. Very simple. I've demonstrated it before and I will demonstrate it. To every man like this, there are generations connected to it.
Yes, sir.
When you are destroying him, you are destroying generation.
Yes, sir.
Funny enough, can I shock you? Can I shock you? You may even be surprised that part of your generation will be connected to it.
Yes, sir.
By marriage.
Yes, sir.
Men that does not have foresight are the one that keep people.
Yes, sir.
Men that does not have foresight are the one that bring people down. This person's grandchild can be a wife to your grandchild also tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
But because you see only today, you are not seeing far. You can kill this man. This is one of the things you must come to your mind. There is a way you throw a stone and it will come back to you. Listen, this is the first thing that even though I have the power, I have the strength, I will say no. There is a wife connected to this woman, this man. Permit me to use you. There is a wife. There are children who are also going to be in pain if I attack him. Children are going to be in pain. Are going to be. These are two children. They are going to be in pain. Can Christ attack this person? But Christ will check what happened to this. If this father is sacked for a job, hunger has come to this one.
Yes, sir.
Now, when he made this particular video, Apostle Joseph Suleman came back again and said, him, for all his life as a spiritual father or as an apostle or as a Christian or as a born-again man of God, there are some certain things that you can't just let go. But because he had preached forgiveness, You have preached eternal life. You have preached Christ to thousands of people. But this particular one, the way they hit her for chest, like, it's so difficult for him to forgive. Like, to forgive Pastor Zenab is painful. And I can see the pain in his heart. For me, it's painful anyway. But I want you guys to watch it.
God does not come into our life and erode, obliterate our humanity. There are things that you will nurse in your heart. You know, sometimes you think you are very forgiving until somebody does something to you that you'll be wondering why you can't let go. Even when you know all the messages on forgiveness, you know it. You know that unforgiveness is a cankerworm. You are aware. You know all those things. But the reality of what that person did hits you so bad that you find it hard to let go. One of the elements of greatness is largeness of heart. And large-hearted people are always betrayed. It's what comes with a large heart. You know, people, the past 2-3 weeks, I've been getting messages. Oh, Papa, your pastors, don't leave them on the location for too long. Move them, move them. When they are talking, I'll be looking at them. Do I look like a dunce to you, like I'm foolish, like I don't know? This thing you are saying now, I know it more than you. But let me tell you the reason why I didn't move pastors or wasn't moving. That doesn't mean we will not make some corrections, but it's not going to change me. I'll tell you why. I grew up mentoring pastors' children. There are men of God today. Most pastors, their children look up to me in different denominations. I noticed they didn't like God. They didn't like ministry. Me that taught in Bible school, me that know church administration, but ministry is not only to be ministry friendly, it must be pastor friendly. That doesn't mean it's wrong to move people, but when you have sympathy and when you have that kind of heart, people will misunderstand it. You keep them in a place, they'll build empire, they'll gather wealth. Whatever you got while you are in the system gave you. The system gave you. What did you come with? What did you come with? What did you come with? The system gave you everything. Whatsoever a man sow. I don't bother myself. Except God, if God is God. No. What the reaping will be horrible. No. You see, I'm not saying this because Dr. Lizzie is my wife. I'm not saying because she's my wife. I've never seen a woman like that. I'm not saying because she's my wife. You cannot successfully listen. Let me tell you why. You can't successfully do error until you have a bad wife. I was happy, after over 20 years of pastoring, they are buying me a car. Wait, I was excited. Some months ago, Mama called me. As was it? He said, when are you returning church money? I said, I don't understand. Admin is laughing. I said, I don't understand. Shebi, I was on my own. When you people now brought me, he said, my husband, do you know why they say I should return the money? A man is living in error. A good wife will not support you. Will not support you. My father, one day my biological father said to me, he said, Apostle, when I became a Christian, I didn't want to come around your church because you are my son. He said, but do you know why I came? I said, yes. He said, one day, somebody came to him and said, I want to see Apostle, and narrated his problems. That he came with that person to their church. They came late and told the person to enter the crowd. They came late. He came with the person. That as I was prophesying, one of those I walked to was that person. That everything the person told him, even what the person did not tell him, he said, I'm your father. He said, but I was there. Toilet, hold me. I said, no, I'll stay here. He said, if you were fake, he said, I've seen many things, I've tested you. He said, if you were fake, this is Auchi, is my community. I would have been going from house to house. He's not a man of God, though. You people run, though. Are you what I'm saying? So when you come from that kind of accountable family, accountable home, you can't misbehave. So please, we are going to pray. And I want to pray for you. I want to pray for you. I want to pray for you. Those of you who are here, who are in this place, you are working with a ministry, you are serving ministry and all of that. And God speaks to you. God can speak and say, move. Leave that location. Leave that state. God cannot tell you. God cannot. You are working in error. You cut out of the place. You start a church in that same area. Rest. It will happen to you too. That's error. That's not God. And anyone who follows you is under a covering that is faulty. That's not God. God does not work like that. Or it's not the author of confusion. That's not God. I can prove to you from scripture. The disciples dispersed abroad. There were locations where they found Paul, they found Barnabas, they said, no, you can't be here. They spread them. You are in Abuja and you serve the man in Abuja, and you left the man, you now open a church close to the master in Abuja. You are a branch, your church is a branch. And there are some of us now, pastors, you are here, you are carrying hurts. Someone has hurt you. How did I get free? I had a weakness. My wife can tell you. My problem was I find it hard to let go. Things will pain me. I will hold it. But my father and the Lord did an altar call. I was the first to come out.
Of a truth, if you understand the point of Apostle Johnson Suleman, you will understand that what he's saying for me is within his right. You, first of all, want to break out of my ministry. You lied to me. You lied to me that you were sick. For health's sake, you don't want to do pastor again because you are tired. Okay, Pastor Johnson Suleman, who is a spiritual father who can heal the sick, but could not heal you, of which another people are dragging him for that area. But it was all a lie. The man was never sick. Because if he was sick, I believe with the capacity and the spirituality and the strength of Apostle Johnson Suleman, he would have healed him if really was sick. But I don't know. I'm not trying to take side. But on the other hand, you want to leave this man's church. You decided to open your own church close to your former church. And he swept all his members. If you see the branch, if you see the one when he opened, it's so big and I saw the church full. And this man, and he's so arrogant. He's so arrogant to the point that now I want you guys to listen to what he said to Apostle Johnson Suleman after Apostle Johnson Suleman make that particular video. We'll be right back.
Remember when we got married newly, my wife asked me a question. There was still no permission. He said, I have noticed that when you sleep, it's like this. Like this. He said, why? And I said to her, have you ever seen a dead body that is sleeping like this? Have you seen a dead body sleeping like this? How do they sleep? Like this. I say, I'm trying to rehearse the day I will die. A day will come, you will just be facing up because you came from hope. That is why in this life, don't look side. If you look side, you backslide. That's why they call it backslide. Always looking unto Jesus, the author. When the Bible says you are dead, you are nailed on the cross, it means that your head cannot turn to the side. You can't go here, only focus. But look at how useless this life is. A day will come, they will raise your leg to wear your trouser. You can't wear it by yourself again. And when they leave her for up like this, it will fall like walking stick. A day will come, fly will enter your mouth. You cannot do like this. A day will come, your children will cry on your ear. You will not answer them.
They cry, you will cry. When the saints are going home, cry it now. When the saints are still alive, they shout, you will shout. When the trumpet shall sound, shout it now. When the saints are still alive. the heart I know you will say, when that day shall come, say it now, where the saints is still alive.
They will put you on the bus, they call it casket. Presently now I'm cleaning my sweat, but at that moment, I will not even sweat again. Lock in the place. No talk, no communication. This mouth that you used to keep people now, cutting wood will seal it. They say shut up, you say you will shut up. You use it to insult people, cutting wood and flies. This ear we say guide it, you say you will guide it, cutting wood on it. They will prepare your best food, but you cannot even smell it. At that time, they will insult you, but you cannot reply. And funny enough, they will take you to the ground, termites on your skin. And they will not give you a title, late Mrs., late Mr. If this is how useless we are, why do we boast that we will deal with people? Why do you tell people, I am not your mate? We are all mates now. What kill the rich, kill the poor. Where they bury the rich on the ground, they bury the poor. The same thing that kill the small, kill the big. All of us are one mate. Stand to your feet.
You see the battles between these people. So it is left for you as a congregation, as a viewers, as a concerned citizen. Muslims don't comment in this video. Only Christian. If you're a pagan, you don't go to church. Don't say that this reason I don't go to church. God will just punish you for no reason. So don't comment. Only Christians have the fundamental religious rights to comment on this particular video. If you're not a Christian, stay away from this video. If you're a Muslim, stay away. If you're a pagan, stay away. If you're atheist, stay away. So let we Christians deliberate on this particular video. We are not here to criticize or discredit or blame anybody. So what are your take in this particular video that you just watched? But before you start commenting or while you are typing, I also want you guys to watch Pastor Lumati said in all of this, either to take side, but you just have to break everything, the whole saga, it break in pieces so that everybody will understand what was going on. Apostle Suleman right? Is Apostle Suleman wrong? Is Pastor Aenab right or wrong? But he just try do a suggestion to the whole story. I want you guys to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Olu Martins, Reverend Olu Martins, and I have the authority of the president of the Omega Fire Ministry, Apostle Johnson Suleman, whom I do media consultancy for as his media advisor, to put certain records straight with regards to his relationship with his erstwhile pastor in charge of the Benin region, in the person of Pastor AZENHE. So this press conference is just to put the record straight and to put into perspective the relationship between Pastor AZEMHE, erstwhile pastor of Omega Fire Ministry, under the leadership and supervision of the highly esteemed Professor Apostle Johnson Suleman. It is first of all imperative to mention that earlier this year, AZEMHE had approached Apostle Johnson Suleman to be relieved of asking that he should be relieved of all of his pastoral duties because he said he had a debilitating health condition and that he needed to attend to his health. Naturally, when you hear issues of health, whether you're dealing with your mechanic or you're dealing with your tailor or you're even dealing with your staff, once you hear health, you put that first. You say, okay, go and take care of your health because you know the value of health to both the man's immediate family and then even to the man himself. So health is well. So naturally, Apostle Johnson Suleman asked him to go and take care of his health. All right? Soon afterwards, a couple of activities have ensued that has culminated, as it were now, as we see in the public space, that Pastor AZEMHE has started his own ministry. So I'm here to say, on behalf of the apostle, that Apostle Johnson Suleman is not aware that AZEMHE has started his own ministry or church. Because that's not the premise ab initio upon which he approached Apostle Johnson Suleman to be relieved of pastoral duties. You can't put something on nothing and expect it to stand. The foundation upon which Christianity is built is transparency, is straightforwardness. So this clarification is important, because without that foundation of honesty and transparency, for which Apostle Johnson Suleman is known for, and somebody who claims to be a son of the apostle is now acting like a hireling without coming straight forward. It is incumbent to put the record straight so that the unsuspecting public will know what is the current status of the relationship between Apostle Johnson Suleman and Pastor AZEMHE. For the records, it is important to mention that Apostle has no problem with any pastor under his leadership, under his tutelage, a pastor of the Omega Fire ministry who wants to leave the ministry. All right? I mean, he's not the caller. It's God that calls. God called him too. So if somebody else wants to leave, say God called him. Like somebody said, there are no witnesses in calls. The call is between the person and his God. Apostle doesn't have any problem whatsoever. But the person should follow the right channel. And the right channel will be to properly inform Apostle Johnson Suleman officially and not use underhand tactics. That is, of course, if the person wants to continue to be under the mentorship of Apostle Johnson Suleman. If you want to be under my roof, you must live by my rules. If you want to continue to call me your father, you must follow the protocol. And the protocol is that you are told me ab initio, Apostle sir, I'm going to go and start my own ministry. You will receive the fatherly blessing, you will receive pastoral blessing, and you receive all of the capacities that Apostle Johnson Suleman carries. So anybody who wants to continue to associate with as Pastor AZEMHE is free to do so. But the person cannot do so assuming that the relationship, assuming that AZEMHE has the nod and the blessing of Johnson Suleman. We can't assume, because assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. And that's why I keep repeating to say, Apostle is not aware that Pastor AZEMHE has started his own ministry, because that's not what he told him. He came at the beginning of the year to say, I am not feeling too well. I need to take care of my health. And Apostle, being a humanitarian, being a quintessential leader with empathy, quickly said, look, your health is important. Because we have had unfortunate cases of pastors who fell down as they were preaching. We have had several people who their health couldn't take them anymore. So Apostle said, go and take care of your health. So Apostle is not aware. So if anybody wants to continue to associate with Pastor AZEMHE, he has, the person is at liberty to do so. But it can't be under the guise that Apostle, he has the nod of the apostle to start or to go ahead. Apostle is not even aware, because he didn't tell him that he wanted to start your own ministry. You were disengaged. You were asked to be disengaged on the basis of a health challenge. So that clarification is important, so that people don't think that, oh yes, it was Apostle that said, he told Apostle, because we have seen Apostle's name being thrown at several of such meetings. Oh, Apostle will come and inaugurate. Apostle is my spiritual father. Apostle is everybody's father who lays claim to him. But if you want to be under the umbrella, the tutelage, the covering, if you like, the fatherhood of Apostle Johnson Suleman, you've got to do the necessary, and that's to officially inform. So as we speak now, Apostle is not aware that Pastor AZEMHE has started his own ministry. So if you want to fraternize with him, that's fine. If you want to fellowship with him, that's fine. But you won't be under the assumption that, oh, Apostle knows what he's doing. And this clarification is important, because I think it was in Genesis chapter 3 or 4. Cain and Abel approach God. God says, bring an offering. Cain brings what he feels God should accept. Abel brings what God accepted. And the Bible says God accepted Abel and rejected Cain. And Cain was upset. And the Lord said, Cain, if you do that which is right, it's protocol. If you do that which is right, your own offering will also be accepted, because God is not a respecter of persons. We can't assume, we can't run like a ragtag army in the body of Christ. We can't assume that we can do whatever it is that we want to do, and then we'll continue to earn the respect of people who look up to us. If you need to exit a ministry, the process is this. You approach the man that you were on, and not just the ministry really, whether it is an organization, whether it is a platform, whether you work with a bank, whatever you work. If you want to exit, the protocol is you will write officially. Either you want a compulsory retirement or you want to properly disengage. And it is more so in ministry, because all of these things have spiritual implications. So I have the mandate of Apostle Johnson Suleman to make this clarification on his behalf as his media advisor. And I want everybody to take cognizance of this clarification, so that people can understand that Apostle has no misgivings. It's just that we can't use underhand tactics. It can't be by deception. We have to be straightforward. We have to be direct. If you want to leave, tell me that you want to leave. I'll give you the blessing. But you can't come to me and say, oh, I want to take care of my health. And then within the process that you want to take care of your health, just a few months after you have erected your own building. I'm not sure it takes a month to erect a building, however small it is. Apostle doesn't have any problem with anybody. Just that what needs to be done, right? And this clarification is important for public consumption. Thank you very much.
Particular pastor, I've been to his church. He's a good preacher. But how many of you remember him when, during the time of Buhari, when Buhari used DSS to relay him to Abuja to answer queries over the threats that he made during the time of Obaseki, and said, no APC banner will be placed in those states. I will make sure that any APC banner that is put on the road or anywhere will be torn down. Anywhere we sit there, we will do this, also APC. Then they call DSS. DSS, now you hear the threat, they threaten president. Threatening us, now they can't remove her. Ever since then, the man have not been partisan in politics, or maybe because they're no longer in power, maybe still fully involved, but he withdrawn. And maybe, I'm just saying, the next time you're going to see him, maybe it's going to be in ADC. But for the now, according to the information that we gathered, he's no longer partisan after waiting Buhari do and the show come for the pastor. Now, the man said he's no longer partisan in politics, and for the reason I best know to him, so I just believe that because the APC is currently ruling, when they were ruling, when they were PDP, this men, they were doing grog. See Apostle Cassie now going here and there and doing all kinds of things that he shouldn't be doing instead of focusing on the ministry. Anyway, I'm going to rest this video here while I wait for you guys in the comment section to tell me your thoughts about this video you just watched. What are your thoughts about it? Do you think Apostle Johnson Suleman should allow Pastor AZENA be? It is not by force to remain under you forever. Do you also think that, no, you should, even if you want to break out, you should have relocated to a different city, not in the same place where you were pastoring before? So what are your thoughts as a Christian, with eloquence, with integrity, with your ideas? Well, how would you balance this scale of judgment? So I want you guys to tell me in the comment section. All right, until we meet again. Peace out.
Cry, you will cry when the saints are going home. Stand right now.